Well, looky there. That big girl got shuffled around, put between the other two girls, and she's an escape artist. Yeah, I'll let number one deal with her. It doesn't really look like she's been out on her own too long, but yeah, she still is. Hey, look, Christmas lights. And yeah, while we're showing lights, we'll show Mother Nature's as the sun's beginning to come up over that way. And we're right at freezing. You know, them weather guessers, oh, it'll be 37 degrees or it'll be 39 degrees. Yeah. Just keep telling me lies like you do every time. Anywho, look at that. It's like a mugshot criminal for escaping. I kind of missed that. It was really, really pretty reflected off the windows of the house, but yeah. Time I got turned around and got stuff out of my hands and came out to show you, that's kind of gone. But I really wish I could get that to come through right at the tree line, but yeah, you know. And if I remember, number one sent me a clip. She's on her way. She had to go over to Tualatin, which is that direction, because one of Maury's trucks had to go over to the shop they use. And she had to take some parts over for it and take the driver back home. The driver lives between Forest Grove and Banks, which is that direction. Kind of halfway between here and where her and Maury live, so she got a shot of it at North Plains. I'm guessing on Highway 26. I didn't watch the whole video because it didn't want to load, but I'm sure I'll throw that in here because why? Everybody loves the beautiful sunrise. And then when we look down, yeah, there's a white tint to stuff out here. Not cold enough to freeze water. Well, not cold enough to freeze the water to the troughs is what I should say. Cold enough that the hydrant at the corner of the machine shed and the hydrant right here at the corner of the shop would both be froze had they not been shut off last night. So, anyway, it's getting about light enough to start moving some manure. There's lights in the feed barn anyway. Got lights on the skid steer too, but I just haven't fired her up and brought her out of the shop yet. I fired up, put the bucket on, and go play in the poop today.
Look at that beautiful sunrise, guys. Don't mind my heater. It's a measly 33 degrees out. And it's still cold in my car. My car is still warming up. But it is just beautiful this morning.
Face shot day. Look at that fancy hat. Ooh-wee. Yeah, I figured it's cold enough. I'm going to wear it for a little bit this morning. And let's see if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it or not. That feeder's empty. It's clear empty. So that's what I wanted to see this morning. Let me throw a couple bales in the barn for them, just because I'm not so sure they got their fill this morning or overnight, whatever you want to say. There, we'll get you a better look from this angle. That's empty. And yeah, there, next one is too, so I'm sure the far one is. So I'm gonna get them locked out of here. I think number one's done with the calves. She texts me and says, "Hey, to go lock the cows out of the feed barn? Well, yeah, I don't think I need to worry about it. They've gotten used enough to it that, actually when I came to open it last night, and I said that, oh, she already did it? No, she didn't already do it. Neither one of us made it out here to close it yesterday. And the cows have gotten used to the night feeding to the point where they walk out in the morning to get their grain. They step back out in the lot and drink some water. And they don't come back in. If they would have, it would have been empty last night. We'd have been feeding small bales inside. So, you know what I'm going to be doing for a while? I'll see about getting you a little bit of it. But hey, look at that fancy hat. And I'm kind of not happy about the way my phone looks, because it seems like usually if I got it on this side, it turns it around so it's the right direction, but I'm reading Vaughn Farms backwards. But hey, Wyatt, thank you. My head is warm, my ears are warm. Nothing else out here is, though. My fingers are getting pretty chilly. Word from the wise. If you're going to build a building for cattle and it's going to have manure near the posts, do not use the green treated posts. They suck. That one is not sitting where it belongs right now. They rot off too easy. That one over there has a piece of flat iron crammed down each side, bolted to it. It still supports. And if I take my frozen hand, switch hands, you can see the flat iron, one on each side of it, pounded down as far into the bottom of the post as we can get it. Hey, this one is too. And there's, I think, 3 of them on the lower side. Well, even the center one right there on the wall. There's rock and dirt pushed up against the outside of the building to support it, because it rotted off at ground level, which is 4 feet below the floor, or was 4 feet below the floor. Along the bottom, the post added for the manure storage are 6 by 8. 6 by 8 is 6 by 12. And they're all bolted in. That's what's supporting the old green pieces of shit. So get the dark colored stuff, preferably creosote. They'll last a lot longer. Fixed for now. Had some 1/4 by 1.5 inches that already had the holes in it. Saved me drilling holes. I cut it in half, cut it on an angle so it had a leading edge. And the angle is toward the rotten piece in the ground. The flat is toward the concrete. That way it stays out as you're pounding it in. I think part of the issue with this post is it was originally straight. It's twisted. Get sure you're not looking in the light. From the knee brace up, that post is perfectly square with the other one. From the knee brace down, it has a twist in it. And you can see, see here, you don't see the sides. As you go down, you see more and more of the side, and I'm not moving sideways. But the hole in the concrete is square with the building. So, no, these green things suck. We've replaced more of them in the main barn because old, 100-year-old frickin' power poles and telephone poles were the original in there. And what we replaced, well, you get the green treated crap. Some of it never made it 2 years in that barn. And there's 3 in a row here that are all the same way. That'll keep it from knocking around. Well, we don't run into it. But I think, it's a big job to do it, but I think to redo it, come up at least 2 feet, cut that post off, get the shit dug out of the hole, and put a steel piece in, concreted in, and just set the post on a saddle up above. Then you don't have that issue. Then you got the steel in the manure instead. But if you do it right, run a piece in the center and pour concrete up around it, then you got concrete exposed to the manure instead of the steel. It's just more of a pain in the ass to do. It ain't gonna get done today anyway. Yeah, maybe I won't have to worry about it, who knows. So anyway, that's done. Now on to bigger and better things, right? Number one, got the skid steer cleaned back up again, and it's gonna go in and get the belly pans put back on, and we're gonna get the chain cases drained and refilled. Doesn't she look thrilled? She's the one that said she wanted to do it. Ori today in his original truck. Get a little bit of reject so we can fill some holes in the lot. Well, we got her back in here. Drove her up on the 4x6s, and she put the belly pans back under it after it got pressure washed. And I put the bucket back on just for lifting. I fired it up, lifted the front end up so there's 6x6s under the front to lean it back to drain the chain cases. She says I moved. Well, that tire's still on the block where it was before I fired it up. This other one's back a little farther on it though. Yeah. Missed a little. And yeah,
come here.
That's usually the color I expect to see it come out. We generally go, yeah, it all depends on how things are going. If we're busy in the shop, we sometimes have let the chain cases go 2 years. Most of the time we try to do it every year, but that usually comes out white. I mean, it's not like it doesn't get water around it. You got a chain case that probably holds 40 or 50 gallons of fluid, and you put, I think it's 1.8 gallons of oil in the bottom of it. This part of the country, it's condensation. And when you hose things off, you know, I'm sure a little water gets in because the top covers, they're kind of a joke the way they seal, but they don't do too bad, I guess. And the plugs are in that mag tray. They're both mag plugs, and both of them had some stuff on it. So it's gonna sit here and drain overnight. I don't know, we might usually run some diesel through it just to flush whatever's in it out. And we'll go in through the access holes and see what we can see. Kind of the time to see how bad things really are. Never really had too much bad, but she's reaching in, and I don't know if she's still cleaning around the cover or, okay. I'm gonna say, I hope she's not pulling chunks out from in the case yet. You got to clean around those covers good before you start, and they get shit packed up. I mean, you know, if it rains, water gets around the covers, and then if you're out in the dust, you're removing hay or whatever, it sticks to it and just makes a freaking mess. But yeah, it's gonna be too wet to get out and spread, so we'll see what we can do with this. She's been due. And I swear that, well, I usually write down when we do stuff. I got overhead in the cab. I write it with a Sharpie. And I mean, we always mark filters. For some reason, last time the oil filter didn't get marked, but I don't think we're up to the number of hours we usually go. We usually go around 250 hours on oil and filter changes. Yeah, it used to be 100 hours religiously. You know, if it had 99 hours on it, run it for an hour and change it with everything. And they just started.
She let you know, though.
Yeah, she says, oh, she let you know. But I mean, the oil that dumped out of here wasn't bad. No, it still looked pretty good. We may not even have had 100 hours on it, but I'm sure we had more than that. So anyway, yeah, there's a mess to clean up on the one side. That big tub, that works good for when we do run diesel through. That little one ain't gonna hold much. The little one's a cut off 5-gallon bucket, so it'll fit under things. This big one holds about 10 gallons, so we've got a 1 gallon sprayer we run diesel through to soak stuff down with. Probably weasel into that in there and spray everything down and get stuff run down, and then pour a gallon or two right at the front and let it actually flush it out. Let her sit there and drain for a bit and fill her with new. Do it all over again. Now is also the time to check chain tension, which a lot of times I cheat. I check that if I'm doing something. I got the front end off the ground. You see how much the tire wiggles. So anyway, I got to give her a hand. I don't know why that one didn't want to come apart. 1.25 inch socket. That happens to be a 12 point, but a 6 point fits too. Catches the ears. It worked. It got it loose enough to get it off. And my light's getting dim. Actually looks good in there.
And I just replaced the batteries.
Chains are tight. See a chunk down there in the bottom, but the thing is, the way these are made, every time you pop a cover off or put a cover back on, you knock shit in no matter what you do. Hopefully show you better up here since my light's dying. Oh, now it won't even come back on. Uh-oh. Oh, there it went. Must have had a short to it. Little shit stuck to the wall in there, right by that chain link, but that's usually how they look. Like I said, I already checked tension on chains. They're good. And then we got this side. Milky white chunk there that was stuck up when I wiped around the outside edge. A little bit of moisture goes a long ways. But you see, it's in the corner in here. And if you look, this surface here is lower than here. And unless you're in a position where it's going to drain down that little hole, it's all sealed around there, so any water in there sits right against the seal and goes in. This side we actually had Permatex on. Maybe that's the key. I don't know. And I haven't looked in back here yet. Now here's the Wonder covers. That's an original one. Still has the plastic piece on the bottom. So is this one. There we go. All the milky white down there. But say, chains are all good. That's the important part. Things look good. Just gotta brush it out, fill it back up. Just use motor oil, that's all you put in there. Always drives me crazy. It's only 5 quarts you put in. Oh, that's what I was going to show you. This one with the buggered, well, with the packed up threads is there, but that's a new bottom piece. They did an upgrade. They realized the plastic didn't hold up all that well for a long time. And this top piece is broke, if you can see that. That's been broke many years ago. So that's how I fixed that. And this is on the side that didn't get the water in it. What do you know? Anyway, that's probably more than enough for a video. Say she's going to sit here like that. And I don't know, I might throw some diesel in there tonight. We'll see. Otherwise, it's late enough. Probably in the morning. Brought you back for a little more. She's almost done drinking. Then she's going to find out what freedom is. This is actually the one that's done the best. I thought she was done. I was going to get you the shot of her getting let free, but, you know, goof around, goof around. The 3 heifers will go back in. Put the heifers down there for now. And that poor token boy over there, he's going to get down in the lockups for a bit. What I planned on a 30-second section here, we're already to almost a minute. That smart kid has slipped that halter off about now. She says, you're messing with it, you're messing with it. Yeah, I figured she'd do that. That's all right.
Bird.
That's all right. She'll come back out and go down below.
Blakely, go. You can go out now.
Ooh, sliding around.
Turn to your right.
She's going, there's something over there, but
Turn your right.
she'll figure it out. Look at that. Got somebody meeting her at the door.
Go on. Go on. I'm done with you, silly girl. Well done. Thank you.
Figured that's what she'd do. Go kick her heels out. Yeah, you got to see one of them get let loose. Probably won't see the rest because, like I say, I know it's a long enough video. Oh, she's telling me I got to show the bull.
I'm going to shut this though because I know what that
But you know,
All right, troublemakers.
I make,
this morning.
what, 12, 16-minute videos usually, and YouTube tells me 4 or 5 minutes gets washed, so I hate to drag it out too long anyway. Oh yeah, here's a stubborn girl. But she's a friendly enough one. She just isn't one that loves the halter. And she's been tortured enough. She'll remember that in a year if we need to catch her the halter and help her calve. That's what it's about for us. I mean, when we were showing, it was different. We were showing, they got halter broke. They got halter broke to the point where all you had to do was hold the...
Blakely?
Yeah.
I'm going to just let loose.
All you had to do is hook the rope on your pinky or lay it on your shoulder and walk, and they would follow. Goofing off. I didn't get him. She slipped the halter off in the upper pin and let him run down here. He was happy.
Come on. Yeah, good boy.
They're not happy at all, are they?
Good boy.
No, never happy.
Yeah, I gave you a bale of straw so you could play with. What do you think?
What do you think, bud? Huh?
What do you think, Jackson?
Yeah, enjoy a day or two. Then she's going to tie you up again because we want him good enough that we can lead him from one barn to the other. Because when he's done here, he's got to get led to the back barn. It's either that or we got to run him all the way through the cow lot and through the feed barn and then across. But
we'll work up to him going outside.
He'll get a few days off and they get a few days back up there. Maybe get 3 more heifers tied tomorrow and then
good boy.
Then Sunday maybe tie him back up.
Good boy, Jackson. Yeah.
There's one I think going to get tied up.
Yep, that's pretty
girl there.
Tied up. The one behind her will probably get tied up
Anyway.
tomorrow.
I know it's way more than a long enough video, so thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you all have a good weekend. Yep, that time of night. Yeah, I got you more, huh? Nice clean barn. Dogs want to get in here and chase them. They ain't going to. And I missed the best of that by about 5 minutes. It was a little better 5 minutes ago, but I wasn't in a position to do it, so you didn't get it. Okay. We'll call her good with that. You got to see some cows.